All right. So we stopped at forms of data processing and computation. All right. So data processing, like we mentioned, is actually we actually talked about data in. We talked about data in transit in the last class. Now we're talking about data in process. Okay. Now we want to see how these guys attack our data when it's in process. Okay, so the third state of data is data in process. This refers to data during initial input, modification, computation, or output. So protection of data integrity starts with the initial input data. So organizations use several methods to collect data, such as manual data, that's manual entry data. Then we have such as manual entry data, okay? That's manual data entry, sorry. Scanning forms, file upload, and data collected from sensors. So each of these methods pose potential threat to data integrity, okay? So an example of a data corrupting during the input process includes data entry errors or disconnected, okay? Malfunctioning or inoperable system sensors. So other examples can also include mislabeling and incorrect or mismatched data format. So a data modification refers to any changes to the original data, such as users manually modifying data, programs, processing, and changing data and equipment. So an equipment failing resulting in data modifications, okay? So processes like encoding and decoding, compression and decompression, okay? And also encryption and decryption are all examples of data modifications, all right? So malicious code also results in data corruption. So most time when this malware comes into the system, what they do is to modify your data. That's what they do, or create a data corruption. All right. So a data corruption also occurs during the data output process. So data output refers to outputting data to printers. So most electronic displays or directly to the other devices, the accuracy of output data is critical because output provides information and influences decision making. So if your processing is being attacked, okay, it will create what we call data corruption. So examples of output data corruption include the incorrect use of data delimiters, okay, data delimiters, then incorrect communication configuration, and improperly configured printers. So what these guys do is, after they attack your system or attack whatever thing they want to attack or take all the information, they create these modifications, they create this corruption, okay? This incorrect use of, they create these kind of things for you to not to be able to have access to it. So like I said, for an IT, a Cisco cyber security professional, when all these things happen, you should have a fast way to recover from it, because that's what makes you different. The fastest way you recover from it is what makes you different. So we look at the challenges of protecting the data in process. What are the challenges? Protecting against invalid data modification, that's key. During processing can have an adverse impact. So software errors are the reasons for many mishaps and disasters. So for example, just 2 weeks before Christmas, some of Amazon's third-party retailers experienced a change in advertised price on their items. So just 1 cent. Now the glitch lasted for 1 hour. The error resulted in what? Thousands of shoppers getting deal of a lifetime. Now what this is saying is this. Imagine Amazon, where people put prices of things. You want to buy food, you want to buy this. Imagine an hacker going there to change all the entire price. Okay, let me don't go far to Amazon. Amazon might even come. We have our own shop right here, or is it Jumia that people always go? Imagine an hacker going to Jumia and changing all their price to a lesser price. Maybe something you're supposed to buy 500 or something we're supposed to buy 5,000. And hacker assessed it. And for 4 hours, they bridge into that network. They put all the entire price to 200 naira. I'm just giving you an example. So at that stage, nobody knows if hacker has touched or not. Everybody will just be surprised. But people will go up there and start purchasing. And when somebody purchases, we inform another person, say, come on, these guys have lesser price, things are going. So these are just what happened. That's an example of what happened to Amazon. So the glitch lasted for 1 hour. The error resulted in thousands of shoppers getting the deal of a lifetime and the company losing revenue. So in 2016, the Nest thermostat malfunctioned as well and left users with no heat. So the Nest thermostat is a smart technology owned by Google. A software glitch left users literally out in the cold. Now, if problems like these happen, what is the solution? So a software glitch left users literally out of code. A software update went wrong. That was just what happened. Now, nobody knows if at that stage it was an attack, but they noticed that the software, okay, the software glitch left users, a software update went wrong, forcing the device's batteries to drain and leaving it unable to control temperature. So as a result, customers were not able to heat their homes or get hot water on one of the coldest weekends of the year. Now, the question is, why is Google controlling? The Nesta thermostat is like a technology. They call it just the way you have smart technology. Everything is controlled via internet. So if you're using that device, okay, or you have that kind of device in your house, it provides all those things for you. It's like an heater or something that provides all those things. So when something was attacked or when the problem went wrong, a lot of people had to face problems. So that's a processing malfunction. So protecting data during processing requires well-designed system. Now, what is cybersecurity professional? Cybersecurity professional person or must be able to design policies and procedures that require testing, maintaining, and updating systems to keep them operating with the least amount of errors. That is your keyword, okay? To make sure, now, this one might not be a virus, but there's something wrong. Somebody was not there to maintain. Somebody was not there to test. Somebody was not there to update the system. And at the end of the day, what happened? They experienced some errors. So the work of a cybersecurity is for him to handle all these things as he gets into those offices. So like I told you, the world is going closer and we're going closer into technology. IoT devices are almost everywhere. Cybersecurities are needed to create policies and procedures to make sure those IoT device doesn't have issues or hackers having access to it. So remember what I told you, you need to log in and have your activity done. Before now we were doing those activities. Those are the things that waste much of the time. And the recording was not, appreciated in the catalog, sorry, in the platform. So everyone, you need to log in into this and do those activities, because those activities are what is represented that you participated in the class. So we move to hard-based technology safeguard. Hard-based technology safeguard. Now, these are several hardware-based technologies used to safeguard an organization assets. Okay, so just a minute, trying to So we're talking about hardware-based technology safeguards, okay? Intrusion detection system. These are devices which organizations we actually have. So hardware-based technology safeguard, there are several hardware-based technologies used to safeguard an organization asset. I mentioned this in one of my classes. These devices are devices everyone, okay, as long as your student, sorry, you're a cybersecurity professional, this is very important for you, okay? There are several based technologies used to safeguard an organization's assets. First is firewall. First is firewall, okay? Firewall appliances block unwanted traffic. Firewalls contain rules that define the traffic allowed into and out of a network. Then we have what we call dedicated intrusion detection system, which is the IDS. IDS detects signs of attacks or unusual traffic on a network and send an alert. Okay? So we also have what we call intrusion prevention system, the IPS. An IPS detects signs of attacks or unusual traffic on a network, generate an alert and take correction action. Okay, so content filtering services control access and transmission of objectionable or offensive content. So now, when you have this device, forensic analysis, have alert administration, then an IDS. All these tools are one of the tools that an organization must have. One of the two an organization must have. So we're still talking about the network-based technology safeguards. Okay, so we're going to look at the network-based, all right? The first one we talked about the hardware. Now we're looking at the network-based, okay? We talked about the hardware-based. We're talking about the network-based technology safeguards. So what are the network-based technology safeguards? There are several network-based technology used to protect the organization, okay? One of it is visual private network. So when you hear people talk about VPN is actually a secure visual network that uses the network is fluctuating. All right, so so when you talk about visual private network, you're talking about a VPN. A VPN is a secure virtual network that uses the public network, which is the internet. This security of VPN lies in the encryption of packet content between the endpoints and that define the VPN. So when you see people using VPN, we all know during the period of what VPN does, it keeps, no matter what network we're using. Now that you're using VPN, don't forget that somebody needs to own that network. Now, if you are connected into someone's VPN, that person have access to your, so if you are creating your own VPN now, that means with your VPN, you can secure a lot of things on your network. That's what this is all about, all right? Then we have what we call network access control. Network access control is NAC that requires a set of checks before allowing a device to connect to a network. So when you have all these kind of things installed on your system or on your network, it protects your network. So some common checks include up-to-date antivirus software or operating system updates installed. Okay, then we have what we call wireless access point security. Wireless access point security. Wireless access security point includes the implementation of authentication and encryption. That's just the two. So when you check your wireless access point, you see these two things there. You see the authentication number or you see the encryption number. So please, it's always important. Always create, some people will say, okay, they want to use first level. Always, even for me, I'll advise you use the second level authentication, if possible. Because the age of hackers that we have today, yeah, that first level is nothing to them. They can break into it. I just, finished a class, and if you have gone through the introduction of cybersecurity, you will see where they talked about the Wi-Fi password hackers, what they do. So if you have a wireless access point, okay, there are tools that can break into that thing if you don't place it on a level of, security, okay? Then we have what we call the cloud-based technology. The cloud-based technology safeguard. So we've talked about the hardware, we've talked about the network, and we're talking about the cloud-based technology. Cloud-based technology shifts the technology component from the organization to the cloud provider. So the three main cloud computing services that we have include what we call software. We have the SaaS, we have the IaaS, and we have the PaaS. All right. So the SaaS, which is the software as a service. The software as a service allows users to gain access to application software and databases. Cloud providers manage the infrastructure, users store data, the infrastructure. So users store data on cloud provider servers. Now, today, the reason why a lot of people want to put all their works on the cloud is because there is always, more security on the cloud, okay, than when you have it in your office, okay? But the problem is paying for a cloud is a lot of money. So a lot of people, what they do is they just put in the important information in the cloud, while the rest information sits on their network, in the server in their office. It's only the one they want people to see that they will put on the cloud, okay? So infrastructure as a service provides visualized computing resources over the internet. So the provider hosts the hardware, okay? So he hosts the hardware, software, servers, and storage components, okay? So that is it. Then we have what we call the platform as a service, which is PaaS, provide access to the development tools and services used to deliver the application. So a cloud service provider have extended these options to include IT as a service, okay, which provides IT support. For this IT as a service is another service that is provided by anybody that has a cloud-based technology, okay? So this IT now provides what we call IT support. We provide IT support for a platform as a service, provide IT support for infrastructure as a service, and provide IT support for software as a service, okay? So an organization contracts with the cloud provider for individual or bundled services, all right? So that is the cloud-based technology. So cloud service providers use visual security appliances that run inside their visual environment with a prepackaged hardened operating system running on visualized. You see where they put the word hardened, that means the security they've created, okay, is not the one you can just break into, all right? So a cloud-based technology safeguard is one of the best. Then let's now look at the implementing okay, we want to look at implementing cybersecurity education and training. So this part is very important. You need to educate your staffs. As a cybersecurity professional, when you bring it to a place, when you design the network, create the policies and the procedures, you now need to train people. You need to train the staffs. You need to train them what they need to do, how they need to do it, to make sure they don't cause hackers or create a breach on the network. All right. So first thing is implementing cybersecurity education and training. So investing a lot of money in technology will not make a difference if the people within the organization are weakest link in cybersecurity. So this part is very important. Okay, you have an office, you are the cybersecurity, and you go to the office, you notice that about 10 of the IT staffs that you are working with, none of them are cybersecurity certified, or they don't even know anything about cybersecurity. You are putting yourself in a big risk. Okay, so that's what they're trying to say. Try to train. A security awareness program is extremely important for an organization. An employee may not be purposefully malicious, but just unaware of what the proper procedures are. There are several ways to implement a formal training programs. One, you can make security awareness training a part of employees' onboarding process. That's before you employ them, they must go through the security course. Now, you tie security awareness to jobs requirements or performance evaluation. So they will check your performance, or there must be a requirement that has to do with security awareness. Then you conduct in-person training sections for them. Create hours, few hours, create a video where they can watch and understand what you're talking about. Okay, then you can also complete online courses. You can always tell them, okay, you go and complete these courses, have the background knowledge of what you're doing. Okay, so security awareness should be an ongoing process. It doesn't stop. You keep learning, since new threats and techniques are always on the horizon. Okay, so that's establishing education part. So we're going to talk about the culture of cybersecurity now. You need to establish a culture of cybersecurity. What does that mean? Establishing a culture of cybersecurity is something that has to do with the membership of an organization must be aware of security policies and have the knowledge to make security part of their day-to-day activities. So an active security awareness program depends on the organization environment and the level of threats they have. Okay, so the creation of a cybersecurity awareness culture is an ongoing effort that requires the leadership of upper management and the commitment of all users and employees. So affecting the cybersecurity culture of an organization starts with the establishment of policies and procedures by the management. So for example, many organizations have cybersecurity awareness days. Now you create programs that will make people understand why they have to be cybersecurity conscious, okay? So organizations can also post banners and signage to increase overall cybersecurity awareness. So the creation of cybersecurity orientation workshops and seminars help to increase the awareness. You can presently now, Cisco is trying to do that. Cisco, gave us, an instruction to train a lot of people, They said we should train a lot of people on introduction for cybersecurity for free. When I mean for free, we should go even the stage they have done it right now, you can train close to 1,000. Because why are they doing that? They are seeing things ahead and they need, rather than even if you're not going to be a cybersecurity, they don't care. They don't want to know if you're going to be a professional or not. They just want you to get the knowledge that this thing that you're seeing is coming soon. And if you don't get prepared, you won't have an understanding, because when you don't have information, you are novice to whatever thing around you. It's the information you have that makes you different. And that's why this course is going around. Every instructor around the world.
Is anyone in class?
Hello? Yes.
We are in class. We just have a network issue.
I'm not hearing anymore.
In class. I'm rounding up the class already. We are in class. We've been taking the class.
Okay, sir.
All right, let's
Okay.
continue.